we've rumored that Windows 12 is coming. I mean, that's just a guarantee, really.
Oh, for sure.
But it seems that this is a weird one because like Windows 11 is getting a major update later this year. It's codenamed Hudson Valley, and it's huge. Apparently, the way Windows updates work is that if you update your Windows to like the latest major release, it just does like it just updates the software, right? It updates what it needs to update in terms of the files. It's just like a update, but there is like a update that's a little bit different. It's called an OS swap, which basically reinstalls the entire operating system as a new version. So that's what's coming for Windows 11.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because it's going all in on AI features and updating File Explorer and the whole quick panel thing and the way like the back end works and the way you use snap panels. Like the one thing about Windows that is pretty much ahead of like Apple and stuff like that is the way you can like snap to like, you know, multiple monitors and like you put one on snap on the top right here and another window down here.
Yeah, I love that.
Snaps.
I use it every day.
Yeah, it's an amazing feature, right? So apparently like the Windows 11, this update will have, that'll be AI powered. So it obviously it knows like what apps you use. It'll be like, okay, hey, would you like, you just click, you know, there'll be an option where it'll be like my apps or whatever, and it'll just be like Discord in this corner, Explorer in this corner, Gmail in this corner, this and that, and you can just have like different snaps like arranged by AI for workflow and stuff.
Yeah,
like that. So it's going to be.
You could probably set up like a profile, and I'm just guessing because I know nothing about this, but you could probably set up a profile after the AI has analyzed your, like, say my daily routine is opening up like 30 different tabs, having Tweaktown's backend here for me to write into, and then having all my news sources, and then I've got like Google Analytics and all of that happening. And after I've done that for like a week or something, the AI might be like, would you like to create a profile for this?
He's like, hey, how about this? Yeah, it'll just suggest it, right?
And then when I boot my PC, it just goes open profile, and then it just goes all into the same spot.
Yeah. And all the CPUs in the mobile space launching now have AI hardware, NPUs, neural processors. All the new desktop CPUs that are going to come out later this year, Zen 5, the next gen Ryzen will have AI. All GPU hardware has AI in it, including the current gen Radeon. That they all have AI hardware. I'm not too sure. Like, I don't think AMD even uses theirs. But the thing is that like this Windows update will tap into the NPUs to run generative AI scripts or to boost AI performance, right? So you'll be using your CPU, you'll be using your GPU for display, it'll be using the AI thingo. So basically, Windows Central is reporting that this update is so big that Microsoft are toying with the idea of just calling this Windows 12. So Windows 12 is obviously in development, and a lot of these features that, you know, come later in the life of an OS are part of like the next generation OS. They kind of like bleed over. And, you know, Windows 10 to 11 was a natural sort of like upgrade. It obviously changed a bunch of the UI, made a few fundamental changes, but like 11 is in a pretty good state. So 12 would apparently, you know, make some changes to this. And the way that this AI stuff works is that, there's going to be like fundamental changes, and that this update's so big that this could be Windows 12. And what confuses me is that like, well, what happens is like if you upgrade, if you just do this Windows update, does it just rebrand your computer Windows 12? And if so, that's a pretty smart way of just moving straight to Windows 12, because as we've discussed previously, the Windows 11 adoption isn't as fast as Windows. Like, you know what I mean? It's still nowhere near the amount of Windows 10 PCs that are out there, if you know what I mean?
It's doing
so if you do launch Windows 12, right, and it's like, okay, now we're Windows 12, and it's like there's still, most people are still on Windows 10. It's like, what gives? Well, then, you know, there's an update for Windows 11 that just moves everybody to Windows 12. And so and then you're just migrating from 10 to 12 or whatever the case is. So like so it almost sounds like you're potentially just dropping Windows 11 altogether because it's basically just becomes Windows 12.
Yeah, there might be hardware limitations though.
I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It might be limited, but I think they'll just disable certain features. Like I think there'll be a version that will just say,
True.
oh, because if you don't have an NPU, then we won't. Or if you've got a GPU, we can use your GPU to run these AI stuff. Is that okay? Yes,
Yeah.
no, blah, blah, blah.
Yep. No, that makes perfect sense. No, that's very interesting.
yeah.
We're gonna have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah. So I think, so by the sounds of it, it like kind of sounds like later this year is when we'll get either a massive Windows 11 update that doesn't OS swap, which is completely reinstall over as a new version. And it's just going to be Windows 11 now fully AI with a whole bunch of other updates, or it's going to be Windows 12.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. We'll keep your listeners updated. That is, interesting, especially with the massive adoption of AI. God, it's hard to find something that doesn't have AI infused in it now.
I just because of AI, right? So like the other day, Dell. Sorry, not DHL. I get so many messages from DHL because of all these GPUs. that my brain's
Wait, what?
fried.
DHL is AI now?
no. So like Dell, right? So like they email me like, oh hey, we've got a new headset or something for like, it's not even like a gaming headset. It's just like a headset for like productivity. You know, like so you can Zoom call or whatever, work from home or work in an office, whatever the case is. I'm like, okay, you know, like those headsets, they're just like earphones and a little microphone that comes off. It's like nothing fancy. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever, send it to me. It was under embargo, but the embargo is now over. But anyway, like long story short is that it's just a headset, but they're calling it an AI driven headset.
Of course.
It's got AI noise cancellation, AI this, AI that. And I'm like, are you just putting the word or just the letters in front of, because it just sounds like a headset to me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, these things had active noise cancellation. So, you know, you got AI driven noise cancellation. It's like, all right, sure.
Yeah, but is it like on board?
Does that make it AI?
Does it have an MPU?
No, it says this has just been built with the latest AI driven technology. I don't even know what that means. AI driven noise cancellation.
Anyway.
Noise cancellation microphones pick up and filter out background noises by utilizing a robust AI processing model.
Maybe it has profiles that were trained using artificial intelligence.
But that's existed forever, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, RTX broadcast, that's like AI noise cancellation. But that's like if you got an NVIDIA GPU, you can just use that RTX broadcast with any headset on a PC. So like,
and it's really good actually. The broadcast is really good.
Yeah. So it's like, sure.
Sure.
But I think you just have to, like, just because like AI, because of generative AI, like even anything that's even remotely AI now is like you just put it there in the headline.
Yeah.
Even like this stuff, like if 3 years ago they could have said like AI, whatever, and you're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but now it's more mainstream. More people know about it, so all of the developers and manufacturers can be like, oh, we've been using AI for ages. Now we can actually put it in our press releases.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah, something that was, and now it's like, yeah, they're calling it's.
Yeah, machine learning's been around for a while. It's not like it just came out in the last couple years. It's like humans figured out that that machines could teach themselves ages ago. Like, look at procedural generation. That's just one example. But yeah, it is a bit of a pain to see so many headlines with AI in the title.
Because we're conflating AI as like in products like this versus AI with like, you know, $2 billion worth of GPUs running insane machine learning large language models, right? That's not
very
what this
different.
Is. You know what I'm saying? This is just a headset with a little bit of software that has been trained to figure out what background noise sounds like, which has existed forever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, ANC headphones are based on the same technology.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like frequency based, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's not difficult to have like an algorithm that can figure out what frequencies aren't voice.
Yeah, it's a buzzword.